All right, so if your backtest looks like this and you're more or less dragging the long and short position drawing onto your trading view chart, I hate to break it to you, but your backtesting is shit. And, because why don't you take this long position? You know what I mean? I'm sure somewhere, somehow, you can convince yourself that this is part of your strategy when you're going through the backtest. Look at that 378 points on the NQ. You're a fucking millionaire. This is going to be what makes or breaks you. Now, if your backtesting looks something like this and you're actually, well, more or less doing the same thing, but you're at least replaying the chart one by one, uh, you're you're on the right track. You're almost there. You don't have level 2 data though. You don't really have the depth of market. You can't really look at the footprint. You can't really look at proper cumulative volume delta. You're not seeing the candles actually develop as they before they close. So, and you can't really have that same trading anxiety as you normally would. Not to mention, you might have faked yourself out and accidentally looked before you even clicked the replay button. Well, lucky for you, there is an actual alternative to this, and it's called the replay backtest feature on Sierra Chart. So more or less, this lets you essentially trade a live market that happened before. You get to replay exactly what would have happened had you walked in at 9:45 on January 1st. Correction, January 21st. Now, this is good because, not only does it show you your level 2 data, not only does it give you the same anxiety of seeing those candles build up, you can't lie to yourself. You can't tell yourself that I would have let this run when you clearly got scared and cut the trade short. You couldn't tell yourself that, oh, I totally would have taken this particular instance of my strategy, even though in real life those candles scared you and you weren't able to do it. Now, I think if you're doing anything short of this, you're really doing yourself a disservice when it comes to your backtest. It's very easy and cheap to set up, and ultimately, being able to practice for Monday's Open using data from 2 weeks ago or data from the last FOMC before you come in, something to do over the weekend. This is honestly what will bring your trading to that next level. So before we get started over here, first things first, you want to make sure you actually have the chart data for what you're trying to load. So if you go into chart settings and you go into chart drawings, chart data, and then neither of those, you go to market depth. Once you're at market depth, you can actually select the maximum market depth data days to load. I usually just have that 4 days before. If you set it to something very high, you're going to be waiting forever for your chart replay to actually load. Now, afterwards, just go to your data limiting. Make sure to set this to whatever day. I'm not actually exactly sure how this works particularly. I just know that these settings let me pick whatever day I want in the past 2 to 3 months. That being said, I have had Sierra Chart for a while, so you might have to manually download. Regardless, their docs should help you out with that. Now, without further ado, let's get to actually replaying this chart. So first things first, all you have to do is go to Chart, Replay Chart, and then Replay Chart Control Panel. Now it's going to pop out on a different screen for me because I have multiple monitors, but yours should pop out right here. More or less, you will always be replaying a single chart. Your replay mode, you could go with extremely high CPU, that's your choice, but this is more than enough, the accurate trading system backtest mode. Afterwards, just use a start date time. If we're using this morning as well, go ahead and do that, and then put in our time. Jump method, I use 2x bar, 1 time speed, and here, let's just do something a bit more developed, like 9:45. Now if I click play, it'll ask me to do this clearing trade data. You can go ahead and do it. It'll just reset your P&L there at the top left. Click OK. Perfect. So it's now actually loaded that same date time that we wanted. If we want to do this on two different charts, say you want like a lower time frame, a higher time frame, you just bring up your other chart, click on it as well, click play, do the same thing. At this point now, you have both charts more or less ready to go. Once this one loads its data, we can start the lower time frame, start the higher time frame, and we basically have everything we need to, just like that, start trading what essentially is a live market with live simulated fills. So there you go. This is much better than just pretending that you would have taken this entry on TradingView. Perfect. So if you are looking for something a bit more risk on, maybe you've been backtesting for a while now, but you want to keep everything within Sierra Chart, I highly recommend checking out Sierra Step. Essentially what it does is it routes any order that you make from Sierra Chart directly into Top Step X. That way you can keep everything on one platform, and it just kind of takes that mental load off you while you're trading. Now this includes any automatic break-evens, any brackets, any updates to your trades. It's all real-time sent directly to TopStepX. Do stay tuned. We plan on actually expanding this out to Tradeovate and a couple other futures prop firms as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this backtesting tutorial can help you become a better trader.